guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, my name is Liz. I do have a toddler girl named Natalie. She's 18 months old and she is watching TV in the background and talking and running around, so be aware of that. I'm so sorry, but I need to get this video in, and I don't know what other way to do it. I don't know how YouTube moms do it when they're having their babies running around. So we'll see how it goes, but I definitely wanted to film this video for you guys. So before I get started, I do want to do like a disclaimer of like, this is the way that I did it, and I am a first-time mom, so these are just experiences and things that I felt to do. I also took some advice from other people, and that's kind of how I decided to train her, sleep train her. I didn't read any books or anything like that. I did go through YouTube videos, but that is basically it. So with that being said, let's get into this video. Okay, so I first want to start off with Natalie's sleep history, kind of what I had to work with, and that's how I decided to sleep train her. So just in case any mamas are having kind of the same issues that I had when Natalie was born, and her sleep schedule and sleep in general, I do want to talk about that before I get to the sleep training part. Okay, so when Natalie was a newborn, she was literally not sleeping at all through the night. It was to the point where I didn't sleep at all. And I want to say that happened for about 2 straight months. I don't know if it was like the bassinet that I used. I think I used like a Fisher Price, very low bassinet right next to my bed. And I think maybe it was that it was just not working out. She just did not like it. So I did try to put her in my bed with me so I can, like, because I was exclusively breastfeeding her. She did not like that either. So I just basically used the bassinet every time I would put her to, you know, she would fall asleep. Nursing, I would put her in her bassinet. Did not work. Basically, she didn't sleep for straight 2 months of being alive. She did not sleep at all. So I was very fortunate to have 12 weeks off of work, so I did have those 3 months to work with her. My husband worked third shift, and so during the week he was not home, so he really couldn't help me out at night. Plus I was exclusively breastfeeding her, so you know, she only wanted me because she was always breastfeeding. She was a newborn. So with that being said, when my husband would come home in the mornings, I would literally hang her off to him, and I would try to sleep for at least an hour before he would go to bed. But it was rough, you guys. So I want to say when she turned 3 months, she was doing so much better. When I went back to work, she was doing better. She was sleeping. She would wake up like 3 times at night, but for me that was like great. But as soon as she turned 4 months, that's when we got her room situated. We got her crib. We didn't have a crib in the beginning. We had not set up her room when she was born or anything like that. We had just moved into this house, so we didn't really do any of that. So we did get her crib, I want to say, at 3.5 months. And we set up her room. So at 4 months, I started putting her in her crib half of the night. So when she would wake up, and to that point, when she was 4 months, she was waking up once or twice at night. So when she would wake up that second time at night, I would take her to her crib, and she would basically wake up in the morning in her crib. I started doing that at 4 months, and she was doing really good. And then I want to say by 4.5 months, she was sleeping through, well, she wasn't sleeping through the night, but she was sleeping in her crib the whole time from the beginning of the night till in the morning. But she was waking up once or twice to feed. And that was okay. I was okay with that. She was only 4 months old, so she did need to eat in the middle of the night. So I want to say at her 6 months, oh my goodness, you guys, she had like a sleep regression. And that's something that I want to talk about. Just when you think you have the sleep training happening, you go through sleep regression, teething, just a lot of things. And I just want you to be aware of that, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was always thinking, okay, I finally got this, you know, she is doing good. But no, it was just, you know, depression or teething, and things like that. So by 6 months, I had lots of issues getting her into her own bed again. So she did sleep with me at 6 months to like 7 months. And I was just trying to avoid at that point sleep training, just because I had to work the next day, and of course, you know, I needed some energy, some sleep in my life to be able to do that wake up, because I am a full-time working mom. I do work outside the home full-time, so I was just kind of like letting it go for a little bit, and then again, we were doing the same thing. She would sleep a little bit in her crib, and I really wasn't trying to sleep train her at that point. I was just trying to get myself to sleep, get her to sleep, so I would take her with me if I needed to in my room. My husband does work third shift, so, you know, it was just me and her in the bed. But I want to say in our 10th month, her 10th month, we did go for vacation to Florida, and that's when she started just wanting to sleep with us the whole time. And I want to say by 11 months, I was like, okay, I have to start doing something. This is just not working. I need to sleep. I need to train her correctly, because when she was sleeping in her crib, in her room, it wasn't really, I didn't really train her. It was just she would just fall asleep when she would nurse, and then I would put her in there, and that's basically what was happening. It wasn't really something I trained her to do. It was just that she would fall asleep completely, and she wouldn't notice where she was at, kind of thing. So at 11 months, I decided, okay, this needs to stop. I need to get myself sleep. I do work full time, and I remember, you know, going through YouTube videos, talking to my mom, talking to coworkers, saying, what should I do that wouldn't require full crying out method? I just could not handle her crying out for that long. And yes, I was a mom that if she cried, I would go in right away. But I got to the point where I would put her in her crib. I want to say at 11 months, I would put her in her crib, and she knew, like I would put her in her crib while she was still not full asleep when I nursed her. And I would put her in her crib, and I noticed like she just wanted me to be there. She just wanted me not to leave the room. And that's when I started thinking, okay, she's just playing with me. She just wants me there. And I get it. I will cuddle her when she, you know, I will cuddle her for, you know, I would be in that room for an hour trying to get her to sleep. And I was like, I was cuddling her for like an hour. She needs to learn to go to sleep on her own. I cannot just always be there. She needs to learn to sleep, soothe herself to sleep. So that's when I was like, okay, I need to do this. So I did do like a weekend, and I decided to let her cry for a little bit. So the first night was probably the roughest night, but what I did is I would do the same thing. So number one thing of sleep training is getting a nighttime routine, and she's had this nighttime routine since she was a newborn, even though it didn't work. But it is, I would give her dinner, and then I would let her play a little bit after her dinner, and then she would take a bath. So she does take a bath every single day, and so she would take a bath. Sorry, she just fell out of the couch. But she takes a bath after her dinner, and then I get her ready. Then we go in her room, we read some books, and then I get ready to, I obviously change her in her PJs, get her room ready, get her sound going, get her nightlight going, and then I nurse her. And then I nurse her, and then before she fell completely asleep nursing, I would put her in her crib, just so she would learn to soothe herself and not her falling asleep breastfeeding. So that's what I did, and the same thing happened. She would look at me and she would start crying with me. And I would put my hand on her and I was like, it's okay, it's okay. And she was comforting with my hand. She would be like, okay. And then I would leave the room and she would just start crying. So what I did is I would let her cry for 5 minutes in the beginning. And then I would go back in and I would shush her. I would pick her up. I know some methods, I don't know if there's like a method, but I know there's some methods that said don't pick her up. But I would pick her up and I would kind of like, you know, shush her and be like, it's okay. I would put her down again, and then I would go in 10 minutes. So I want to say I did 10 minutes 2 times, and it still wasn't working. She was just crying harder and harder. She just knew I was out there, and she just wanted me, and she did not want to sleep at all. So after I did those 2 10-minute waits, I went back in, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know what to do anymore. You know, I was not okay listening to her cry so long. So I decided to wait 20 minutes, which, oh my gosh, you guys, I know what you're thinking. You're like, I cannot believe you let her cry for 20 minutes. I know. But I did let her cry for 20 minutes. And I was actually timing it. And that time I let her cry for 20 minutes, you guys. I'm not kidding you. At 19 minutes, she completely fell asleep, and I was watching her on her monitor. She completely got her pillow, the little pillow she had there, but she just, you know, she was probably tired of crying, and she slept, you guys. She slept the whole night. First of all, she had never slept through the whole night before. She slept till 8 a.m., and I was like shocked. I was like, wow. I mean, yes, it was horrible letting her cry for 20 minutes, and I was going to go in after 20 minutes anyway. So the fact that she stopped crying at 19 minutes, I was like, okay. So after that, the next night, she cried. I think I went in twice, and that's it. I went twice after 10 minutes, and then she completely fell asleep. She kind of like found her way to like cut off herself and went to sleep. Third night, same thing. I think I only had to go in once, and she was completely asleep. And she was able to teach herself to sleep through the night. She does wake up once in a while, but when she does, I either nurse her or, you know, kind of pick her up and pat her and then put her back in her crib. And if she does cry, when I put her back in her crib, she only cries for 5 minutes, and that is all. Okay, so that was when she started sleeping basically through the night or in her room, and basically I did the whole training like I just said when she turned 1. So now that she's 18 months, she's definitely had the teething. She got sick before Christmas, and she's definitely had ups and downs in her sleep, and she has, you know, just like a normal kid, wake up more than normal. But usually if she's healthy, if she's healthy, obviously, if she doesn't have any teething problems or anything like that, she will sleep through the night. And I'm very proud of her. She has come a long way, and I know how hard it is to try to train them or try to let them soothe themselves to sleep. So I've been there, done that. But if you guys have any suggestions that you guys want to talk about in the comments below, things that you did or things that helped you, so maybe I can learn from them, or any moms that are watching this video can learn from them, make sure you comment them in the comment section so we are able to see those. I know being a mom, it's just, you know, it's definitely stressful, especially the sleeping part. It is hard to get them to sleep through the night or even sleep at all. Being a mom is hard, but it is definitely rewarding. I love being a mom, and I just love it. But, you know, every mom needs help. They need advice. we just, you know, I love the fact that I was able to open this channel so every mom, so moms could, you know, come here and get some advice from other mamas here. So if you are new here, I would love it if you could subscribe, and let me know in the comments below of any other videos you want to see here, that I'll be able to film for you guys. And with that being said, you guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.